Are you a solopreneur looking to 2 times your revenue to fund your lifestyle and give back? Well, this podcast is for you. We bring you inspirational guests sharing actionable tips to solve many of the struggles you face each and every day. And now over to your host, Paul Higgins.
Hello to the Build, Live, Give Solo podcast, episode number 163, How to Nail Your Goals in 2020. If it is your first time, welcome. And if you're a regular, thanks for your support. Love to get your feedback to improve the show. Just email me at paul@buildlivegive.com. In the last solo show, episode 161, we talked about sales focus. We spoke about 2 key actions. One was for you to send me why sales is so important, and the second is to implement what resonated with you out of the 7 habits that I gave. If you haven't listened to it, you can download it at buildlivegive.com/podcast or on your favorite platform. Just search Build, Live, Give. I trust you had a fantastic festive season. I certainly did, much better than last year when I was on dialysis and about to have a transplant. So it was great, and I hope yours was as well. Also, I hope you're really fired up for a game-changing 2020. With that in mind, what today's topic is how to nail your goals in 2020. What you will learn is why habits are so important, what habits I do daily to inspire you, and how to apply these habits to nail your goals. So the first one is why habits are so important. I really enjoyed reading James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. In it, he talks about systems and not goals. He loves the little 1%ers, which make all the difference. His example was the British cycling team, where they actually had manufacturers were so embarrassed about their performance, they wouldn't even give them a bike or didn't want them riding their brand of bike. And now they're at the top of both road and track. It all came down to looking for habit patterns. He talks about the most successful people handle boredom well and do habits when others won't. So point 2 is what habits do I do daily out of reading James' book, and what have I implemented? So the first is I've created a list that I go through every day in Asana, and I'll show you an example of that in the show notes. So I split it into morning, day, and night. So morning, stretch. Stretching is so important, especially for a lot of us that sit and look at a computer or look at a mobile phone for a lot of the day. And if you look at your dog, if you've got a dog, they will always stretch when they first get up. And if you say the word walk for my dog, it'll definitely get up and stretch. So it's just natural for them to do it. It's become unnatural for us to do it. The next is a daily reflection. I'll have a template in my show notes of what I read there, but I read it every day. Then I turn on my notifications. So I turn them off overnight. And the key one that I use is Voxer. Always have that on as notifications. It's the only one on my phone that I do. And I also have Snapchat when my kids are traveling or they're away so they can get in contact with me. The next is meds, which is my medicine, which is really important to me. And then I have a great breakfast. Then during the day, I block out the middle of my day to have me time. So I go for a bike ride, I go for a swim, I have lunch, and I go for a 30-minute nap. And I can't tell you how great having a 30-minute nap is. Then I have snacks during the day. So I get up, I drink lots of water because my kidneys, I have to, but I also have snacks, and I go to good snacks, not bad snacks. So in particular, walnuts for me are really good fat, and I eat a lot of those during the day. Also stretch my hand, because if you're right-handed, for me, I'm right-handed, the mouse, I get so stiff in that right hand, so I make sure I stretch that. And what I do is work in 30-minute blocks. So I time everything in a 30-minute block, and I only focus on that one thing. And I also track all my time in Toggl, and my business manager and I go through that at the end of every week. I also change my seating position every 30 minutes. It's so important. It doesn't really matter what chair you've got, how you're sitting. It's more important to actually change your position. I'm lucky I've got a stand-up desk, so I'll do 30 minutes standing up, 30 minutes sitting. So that makes a really big difference. And the other thing I do during the day, because I normally have a shower a bit later now, I'm not in corporate, I don't have to have a shower first thing in the morning, I make sure that I do the last 20 seconds completely cold. And by the time this podcast goes live, I'm probably up to even longer than that. And my goal is to have a complete cold shower in the future. I don't know when I'll get there, but that's my goal. Then the next element is the night. So once I do, I do stretching. I also look at my daily tasks. So sometimes, you're that busy, you just can't put things in your, I use Asana, it's too busy to get it in there. Sometimes I'll leave just little voice messages in Evernote. That's where I keep my notes. And what I do is consolidate those all into my task manager so I don't leave the end of the day with anything hanging over my head. Then I meditate, so 10 minutes using the Headspace app. I go through a daily progress, which is just my key wins, my key learnings, what my key challenge is at the moment, and also what I'm grateful for and what grateful act I've done to other people. So I do that every day. And then I also fill out an Envision app, which once again I'll put in the show notes. So point 3 is how to apply it to nail your goals. So first, create your own list. This is just an example for me. You need to create your own. Make it easy to follow. So I have an accountability buddy that helps me make sure that I do this. So I think that's really important. And what I also do is put it in my diary as my first action for the day. So it reminds me, for me, I clone it in Asana. So I've got it set up for every day and I just tick them off as I go. And I also remind myself to tick them off at the end of the night. So what are the 3 key actions I want you to take from this episode? The first is read or listen to James Clear book, Atomic Habits. That'll be in the show notes. Create your daily routine. And I must really emphasize it's yours. Don't take mine because that works for me, but create your version of it. Be consistent and then you will nail 2020. You can get all the show notes at buildlivegive.com/podcast. And as I said, this is podcast episode 163. Please send me a topic that you want covered. So just send it to me at paul@buildlivegive.com. I will reward you with a free 60-minute strategy call valued at $4.99 for everyone that does that. Please take action to build new revenue streams to fund your lifestyle and give back.
Thank you for listening to the Build, Live, Give podcast. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and leave us a review. It would mean the world to us.